Hey everybody, welcome to Big Hair Gaming. We're back here with another video covering our favorite game, Last War. Today is going to be the final part in our Alliance Duel series. We had a little bit of a mishap with it last week, but this week we are good to go. Looks like we're already under attack, so we're going to jump right in, see what's going down. We shouldn't be losing points already because it's still within that 5-minute time slot. So somebody, I think, is probably just losing points on the enemy team. I wanted to make sure I started this right, just at like the right time, just to make sure I could go over the beginning stuff. So for today, we're gonna get points primarily. This is what I always call Battle Day. The actual name is Enemy Buster, which isn't as cool. But we're gonna get points in a myriad of ways. That's going to be sending out your golden trucks, doing your legendary secret tasks. So, like we talked about earlier in the week, you want to use those spins to set up your trucks. So I'm going to do that. You know, from that video, I send my trucks out during the AM. So I'm not going to send them out right now while everybody else is sending out their trucks. I'm going to go after and grab some trucks after the battle. Cool, we got that. Let's see, then we spin to win. Notice I also turned off the game sounds. One thing I noted about the playing on desktop is that I don't have the ability to modify the sound output from the pickup. Like I have to do it within my recording program, and I just haven't played around with it. So I just turned the game sounds off so that there's just not like tons of like exploding sounds and troops driving by and all that sorts of stuff. So yeah, it doesn't look like I have any golden tasks, but we can do the mega refresh, which is going to spend 4 for every thing here, but I'm not going to do that. What I like to do is I'll usually just spin and I'll get 1, I'll do a couple more and I'll get 2, and then when I'm down to like maybe 3 or 4, then I might do the mega refresh to ensure that all those get golds as well. But yeah, so those are one of our two ways, or two of our many ways that we're going to get points. Then it's also spending speed ups, which I don't find to be that valuable during this day. But if you're like a little, like just a handful of points away from getting your final box, your 7.2 million, then if you got to do that, then you got to do that. But the other way is going to be killing units from your rival alliance, and you're going to get the most amount of points compared to the other murder equivalents. You get the most amount of points from killing your rival alliance troops, but you do get points for killing other enemy troops and for when you lose troops as well. So one thing you want to be cautious about is because this day, the Warzone Duel is the following morning. At least for me, my time, it's the following morning. So if you can, you want to try to save some troops to engage in that battle if you can. Sometimes if you're just not confident, if your Warzone Duel opponent is just like bonk-donkulously powerful, and you know that you have like no chance of winning, then maybe you might go absolutely ham on your Alliance Duel. But otherwise, you do try to want to make sure you save some troops for that. So some stuff I'm going to try and demo in this video. I'm going to try and show you how you can quote-unquote double your hospital capacity. It's not really a double, but it's a double in terms of how we're going to use it. If we get smoked, then I'll probably be able to showcase that a little bit. I'm not sure how quickly I'll be able to talk about like what I'm doing in the moment and that kind of stuff. But I wanted to do this live recording so you can see kind of what the strategy is. I'm going to tell my team that I don't know what they're talking about in here, but I'm going to tell my team that I'm going to jump in and share my location. There we go. Here we go. We got 9 seconds. So we want to go right at the beginning because we want to start hitting people right away. Because anybody who's not on is not going to have their shield up. And that's when we want to go. Hey everybody, Big Hair from the future. This is the part where YouTube tells me that I need to tell you guys to like and subscribe. It helps out the video. If this is entertaining, if you're having fun, feel free to hit that button as it helps out the channel a whole bunch. Let's get back to the action. So that's right now, and we already see some dudes on the outskirts. Lots of folks over here. They're not in our rival alliance, but we do see some other folks on the inside right over there. So there we go. That's our angle. And we're going in. I already see one of my allies is coming in. I'm going to share my location when it comes up. There we go. And we're going to start blasting. Now, what I want to do, what I should do if I was wise, is I would hang back a little bit and leave one of my stronger teams in my base with me, so that if somebody teleports right next to me, that I'll be covered at least somewhat. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, I must have pushed it too hard, and they had a couple more troops on at hand. So one thing you got to make sure you're doing is that you're paying attention to what your... I'm misclicking quite a bit here. You want to make sure you're paying attention to what your... I see help is coming for him. What your troop output is after a battle. So I see they're healing somebody. There's another guy coming. I'm going to try and get this quick because I want the base destruction. Got him. Okay, that guy got a shield up. That's unfortunate. I can see teammates are going in to help folks. I'm going to send my other team over here. And I'm going to send my third team here. Oop, getting misclicks. Yep, this guy's going to go back, and I'm just going to try and get as many points as I can as quickly as possible. Because usually what's going to happen is somebody on their server who's a heavy hitter is going to teleport in and then start blasting me. And that's probably where I'm going to get a lot of troop loss. But I want to try and get my boxes as quickly as possible before that happens. Oh, somebody's attacking me. Here we go. That's okay. We knew that was going to happen. I'm going to pop that, and I'm going to grab more stamina, and I'm going to be ready to receive him when he gets here. So let's see what happens. Do I get hit? Nope, he bounces right off, as expected. I'm going to keep on ashing. Now, I'm not super attentive to... Alright, I got 10 million points. That's all my 7 boxes, but we're here for blood. Cool, and he's coming back. I could start attacking him if I wanted to, but I want to make sure that these folks here get destroyed. And he's not going to beat me to my base. I'm going to blast him there. And he's got somebody reinforcing him, but I'm going to push in anyway. I see somebody, I think Lorenzo's going to cover his base. That's fine. And he's pushing to attack mine. If I get hit, that's fine. Whatever. I'm going to try and bounce him out of his base. I'll probably bounce off. No, I got him out. Okay, that's cool. But I'm going to let my troops come back. We'll see what happens with his troops and mine. Nope, he bounced off my second team. Unfortunate for him. I got one hit in on him. If I could land over here, I'd jump over there just to get a little bit closer. Cut down that travel time, but that's okay. Now I'm going to send both teams in here into this guy's base. I'm going to hit with my first because I know he's reinforced. And I'm going to hit with my second because I know I can hit him for free. And then my first team's going to come back. He's going to bounce those guys out. He's looking pretty. He's sitting pretty. My second team's going to hit him. And then I'm clear to finish him off right here. One more. Yep, that does it. And my first team gets back. That guy bounces off. It's all about timing. It's all about distance and timing. So because I know his main team's away, I'm going to send my guys in. Yep, everybody gets blasted out of here because my ally, AK Sith Lord, just blasted him. And I'm going to send my guys in and just keep hitting him. I already know he can't beat my second team, so I'm just going to keep sending him in. And I feel bad because he was just trying to help out his friends, but that's the combat. That's the game. Let's see. We got another guy over here who looks like he's already smoked. I'm going to make some space. Now, one other reason that you want to do this is because when at the end of the day, when they're coming back, like when folks are at the end of the battle day, if folks have not yet returned, you can blast them and jump into those spots that you've taken over. Oh, somebody jumped in to reinforce before I got there. Smart move. You can blast them and start taking over those spots. So, like at the end of the day, before reset, we can come in, and then like these destroyed bases won't be there anymore. And then we can pop in a little bit closer to the hive. So anybody whose base isn't poised, excuse me, anybody whose base was not shielded for the full 24 hours is going to start getting popped. Let's see, we got a message from an ally. Okay, cool. He's got reinforcements on my base. Okay, cool. Yep, he's right here. Right on. Yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna jump over onto that. No reason not to. Let's see. It's a race between me and Lee. Who gets there first? Oh, I think Lee beat me. Nice. Good job, man. Good. So this is a very clean attack here. I was just up a jump right there. Well, that guy will probably be dead in just a moment. And I have all my boxes, so I could choose to not be greedy and back off a little bit. So let's take a peek around and see who's still here. I see some allies going. Somebody from 690. I think I've encountered that guy before. I'm pretty sure he's quite powerful. So when I mentioned before of like people are going to start jumping in and start defending people on their server, oh, that guy's not that strong. I don't know what he's doing here. Well, never mind then. But what I'm going to do, I want to get my troops over to him pretty quick. I'm going to send them to this resource spot because I have extra movement for moving towards resources, and then you want to quickly pivot to change direction. He saw it coming though. He got out of there quick, fast, and in a hurry, as he ought to. Let me get my allies base. There's another guy. Is that the same guy? No, that's a different guy. Let's see what his stats are looking like. Uh-oh. Oh, we're getting attacked. We better move. Oh, troops outside the base. Okay. Oh, we better move the other way. Alright, I'm getting hit a lot. This would probably be the moment to show where the... Because my main team was away, so let's see how bad the damage is. Not too bad, not too bad. Only 5k troops, 5k and some change. So what I'm going to do is actually kind of sit on that for a little bit. I'll ask for a free fire removal. Oh, wait. Somebody might have gotten me already. That was quick. Nice. Oh, no, that's not... Okay, that's my friend's base. Okay. I got him. Yeah, so yeah, that's not too bad. We got all the boxes that we wanted. I don't see... There are a couple of bases that are hit. I'm going to clear out some of these fires. But I don't see any active attackers at our base. Looks like our neighbors got hit quite a bit. But what I would do... So to talk about the other strategy I had mentioned... Excuse me. Talk about the other strategy I mentioned about like how to quote unquote double your hospital size is when you have severely wounded troops in the hospital like I have here. What you could do is once it fills all the way up and your hospital's full, then you'll everybody who would go to the hospital just straight up dies off the rip. But if you start the healing process, all the people who are in your hospital will start to be healed, which removes them from this queue. Which means you have I'll call it like an invisible queue, but you have an invisible queue of severely wounded troops who are being helped, and you have your regular queue of severely wounded troops who are not being helped, and you only have a maximum size of however your hospital is. For me, it's about 8,000, so you have 8,000. Size limit for severely wounded troops who are not being helped. So once you flip them to being helped, then your severely wounded troops queue goes back to 0, meaning that you can get another 8,000 troops injured before going back to before jumping back in or needing to jump back out rather, before all of your troops that get hurt will just start dying off immediately. Like that's pretty much your cap. You don't really have any recourse for getting around that other than just spending the speed ups and healing your troops off the bat. Hey everybody, Big Hair from the future once again. So I tried to talk about this in the video, and I get interrupted like 4 or 5 times as I try to get through the concept. So I just want to talk about it again. here more succinctly without a whole bunch of stuff going on. So in the video I already talk about like how you can have a whole bunch of troops healing all at once. For me, it's like 8K at a time, and I can have a group of 8K that are already being healed and a group of 8K that already need to be healed. And that's something to take advantage of like when I'm kind of on my way out. Like I got hit really hard, and I want to kind of do one more big push before I need to stop playing for a length of time. I have time to start to kind of pull back and then shield. That's kind of where that strategy comes into play. If I'm still in the game and there are a lot of other people on, something that I can do. I'm going to send out my rally here. Something that I can do is do what we call batch healing. So for this example here, I just sent out a couple troops to get a little bit of damage on myself. So I have like 200 troops who are injured, but imagine if I had my full 8K that are injured. What I want to do when you have a whole bunch of people on is you can just heal a small subset and heal in batches. So usually what some people will do, depending on the size of their alliance and how many players are on, they might heal in batches of 1 hour heal times, like an hour and a half or 2 hours. My alliance tends to be really active right around reset. So like when we're doing the battle time, in the video I was able to heal I think around like 350 or 400 troops at a time and still have them finish up pretty quick. But you want to pick a time that's relatively low so that the players who are online are quickly hitting that support button, and so you're rapidly healing batches of troops really quickly. So, for example, like I'm going to hit this heal button here. It takes an hour and a half. As I start to get healed, that number is going to go down, and it's going to jump down by larger and larger amounts. So you can see only 4 people have helped. I'm already down to a half hour. A few more folks, and that's going to drop down to 0. Now, for right now, like I said, this is after the recording of the video, so the numbers are a little bit lighter, but that's okay. But this is just to give you the visual of what batch healing does. With 1 or 2 more people on, this will go down to basically nothing, and then I can do it again, and then I can do it again, and then I can do it again. So this is one way to save yourself from having to use speed ups, because if I heal my whole bucket of severely wounded troops all at once, that's about, at least for me, about a 2-day healing time. So if I want to heal 8,000 troops all at once, I need to spend about 2 days worth of healing of healing speed ups. Or if I'm willing to heal maybe 200 at a time or 300 at a time, and kind of do it every couple of seconds, like it's like when everybody's on, this is only like a 10-second endeavor at peak times, at least for my alliances, and probably alliances similar to mine. But when there's a lot of folks on, boom, there you go. That goes through really quickly. So if I'm willing to heal, like I said, 300 troops, 400 troops at a time, I can get that 8,000 group healed very quickly without spending speed ups. So that's another strategy that you can utilize when you still have a respectable number of troops, and you're still in the thick of it, and you want to be in the game. That is one strategy you can take advantage of to keep yourself fighting for longer. One other thing that I'll see is sometimes the people will land right next to someone, and I'll see lower leveled folks, or sometimes just anybody. They'll send all of their teams out at once, and I don't recommend doing that if you're not really confident that you can beat your opponent, because basically what it does, and I'm gonna teleport back to my home. And while I'm talking, because we're still actively under attack, I'm going to fall away to somewhere out in beyond. So you don't want to hang out here. This is like I'll call this the Badlands, but this is where all the bases go. They get ashed. So you don't want to hang out there, because that's where your opponents are going to look for you. You probably want to just go somewhere like on the outskirts and just kind of hang out over here. And if you really need to, you can teleport away again. But you keep your troops on you, so that way if you need to use a quick teleport, you can do so. But I'm just going to talk down my timer and say everything else I need to while my war fever goes down. But you don't want to. But as I was saying, as far as attacking your opponent off the rip, when you don't have any knowledge, like unless you're really confident that you can beat them, like if I'm jumping on bases like I was before, and they're level 25, level 26, level 27, I'm like reasonably confident with like very little exception I have seen some very heavy hitters for like 26 and 27. Shout out to Critical Mass, one of my alliance mates, who I think he's 27 right now, and his marching power is around 21 million. So pretty solid. But with little exception, like if I see somebody who's a lower base, I can probably take the gamble that I can defeat them with all three of my teams. But if you're not a very late game person and you don't have high level teams for all three teams yet, I don't recommend sending 1, 2, 3 against a similarly powered opponent, or at least someone that you would anticipate to be your power level. Because then what happens is if they beat your first team, they're likely going to beat your second team, and they're definitely going to beat your third team. And now you're down, somewhere in the magnitude of 6,000 troops who are now injured or dead. And then if they send in uh, their first team and maybe their second team, if they're depending on their confidence level, they might look at the report to see how you guys stack up. And I'll just show you what that looks like. You can see like I got completely destroyed by this dude. Because my main team, my main team couldn't have contended with his because my main team's about 20.5 million power or there or about right now, and his is 24. And this is his air team, so not only would my main team have been at a disadvantage, um, but also he's way more powerful than me anyway. So if this person teleported next to me, or if I teleport next to them, and I'm like I'm gonna attack this guy, I definitely don't want to send my teams out 1, 2, 3 because he's gonna beat all of them, and I'm just gonna take tons of losses. Um, and so you wanna be cognizant of that when you're going into these battles and stuff like that, and just kind of making good decisions. If your first team can beat their first team, then you're in business. If you take your time, you can send your first team to attack, and you just do it over and over. You need to pay attention to your troops. You saw me make that mistake earlier, but you need to pay attention to your troops. So that if you're losing troops per battle, that you don't end up pushing too hard and then losing and having to retreat back. Because when you retreat back defeated, you come back slowly. Um, but yeah, if your first squad beats their first squad, you're in business. If your second squad beats their first squad, then just send out teams 1 and 2 back and forth until they're destroyed. And this strat works not just in the Alliance Duel, but also in your Desert Storm battlefield, especially here because you can't send out double rallies. I wanted to get a video of this as well this week, but I just got home a little bit late and it just didn't pan out in time. But if you want to see a video about the Desert Storm strategies and breakdown for that, and kind of like how your team can plan ahead and be successful and what your focuses should be, feel free to drop a comment. Maybe I'll do that next. But I don't want to, just kind of belabor the point here. There's a lot of other strategies, and not other strategies. There's a lot of stuff you can do and ways you can be attentive when you're doing your battle day stuff. So just like pay attention to stuff. Oh, we got another 4 million points from being defeated. Always positive, or always a plus. But yeah, if you pay attention and you're not like sending out your troops to fight battles that you can't win, you should be able to get some good hits in, get some good points, and then hopefully whatever you can't get from fighting your opponent, hopefully you can cover those gaps with your golden trucks and then your legendary secret tasks. So with that, I think that's going to bring this video to an end. Hopefully this was engaging to watch, a little bit fun. Fortunately, we had an opponent that had at least a couple of shields down. We had a couple of their allies jump in to help them to deal us some damage as well. So hopefully this made it for like an entertaining or at least educational experience. If this series was useful, feel free to drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing more stuff. And we got a cool hangout coming out soon for 500 subscribers. That'll probably be next week. There's a poll going on my page. So feel free to check that out. But yeah, with that, that's going to be the end. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.